Hello there. We are back for another amazing cooking segment with me, yours truly, Amelia. Today we are going to be making eggplant parmesan. Yes, I am very excited. I have this eggplant that I didn't know what to use it for, and my sister suggested for eggplant parm because that is one of my favorite foods. What do you need? One decent sized eggplant, cashews, garlic cloves, pepper, Italian seasoning, Newman's Own tomato and basil, and I meant just tomato sauce. Any tomato sauce, it doesn't matter. I was just being extra. Some plain panko breadcrumbs, salt, extra virgin olive oil, a food processor and or blender, one of these guys over here. This one's 8x8. The recipe I'm using calls for 9x9, but I'm splitting the recipe in half and I want it to be stacked and not thin, so this is ideal, but you can use whatever works best for you. And a baking sheet. You can use either parchment paper or tinfoil. I only have tinfoil. I'm sorry, this is just gonna be how it is. First things first, you gotta preheat your oven to 400 degrees. Secondly, we have to wash our eggplant so we can cut it up, place it on there, and then into the oven. Oh, those are my feet. Hi. Washing eggplant while holding a very expensive camera. Very good idea. Now we're gonna dry him off. Now that he's all dry, we're gonna cut him up into slices. I would say about half an inch to an inch thick. Now that they're all cut up, what we're gonna do is pretty much douse them in oil and then put them on the pan, cover them with black pepper and salt, throw them in the oven. This is the way I like to do it. I put a little bowl aside for olive oil and add it as I need more. And then I just like to sprinkle the salt and pepper on afterwards when they're actually on the pan. So that's how I'm gonna do that. Now we're gonna get started on making the vegan parmesan out of cashews and nutritional yeast. This is actually so easy. You don't even have to soak the cashews overnight like you normally would for other cheeses. All you gotta do is take them out the bag and put them in a measuring cup, so you get a cup of them. I usually split up the recipe that I'm kind of following by in half, but instead I'm just gonna make all of the Parmesan cheese. Next you're gonna add about a quarter cup of Nucci. So next it calls for a half a teaspoon of garlic powder. I actually don't have garlic powder, I just have actual garlic or garlic salt, so I'm gonna cut up this bad boy right here and just dump them in there. I'm assuming that will probably be enough. I like things, whoops. I like things garlicky anyway, so yeah. last but not least, add a pinch of salt. I'm gonna take 1/4 cup of panko breadcrumbs. Usually we use half, but I'm cutting it in half, so I'm using 1/4 cup. Next up, we have 1/2 tablespoon of Italian seasoning. Now we're gonna add most of the Parmesan. I'm just gonna eyeball it and see how that is. Oh, looks like I poured probably way too much in. You know what? Screw it. It's just gonna be really Parmesan-y, which is fine. I can live with that. Because on the recipe I follow, it just says to put it on top of everything at the end. But I generally prefer to put a little bit in between the layers just because it adds a little something to it. The way I have a tripod and simply just don't feel like setting it up right now. This is like top tier laziness at its finest. Okay, that should be pretty mixed up now, and you can add whatever more of anything, whatever feeds your heart's desire for your ideal dream eggplant parmesan, but this is what I'm gonna do for now. The next part is super easy. It's literally just pouring some of this guy into the bottom of this pan and pretty much just waiting for our eggplant to get out of the oven so we can start layering a little bit. There are actual measurements on the recipe that I'm kind of referencing sort of for how much to use that I don't follow literally ever, especially because this one also calls for you to make your oil-free, an oil-free sauce, which I certainly won't be doing. That's just a lot of extra effort. Maybe for another time when I don't feel as lazy. This is one of those recipes, it really tricks people into thinking that you made a lot of effort when you actually didn't. I'm sure other eggplant parm recipes are way more extensive. Like my mom used to make one that seemed like it was a long process because I think she would fry the eggplant in a batter before baking it. Which I don't do here, obviously, but that would take way longer. This one, you get a really, really great dish in a very short amount of time with very, very minimal effort. That's why I like it, especially when it starts getting colder outside. This is like a nice little toasty recipe that will definitely keep you warm. Since it's fall now, I just want to bathe in soup. That's really all I want to do every single day. I wake up and I'm like, I want soup, and I'm not allowed to have soup for breakfast because that is the law. I hear those eggplants sizzling away in there too. Okay, that's probably enough. I've determined that to be enough. Newman's Own is so amazing. I wish I was getting paid to say this, but obviously I'm not because I have 26 followers, but oh my god. I just had a fucking, I thought that doesn't this look like that those are his hands and he's putting his hands on his face like he's surprised, like, ah. Oh my god, it looks exactly like that. But it's supposed to be like some other lady, like maybe giving him a kiss. Maybe it's like he made her, him made a pasta dish or something for his lady, and she was like, wow, this is so hot. No, but that looks like his hands, and I would much prefer that to be his hands, because who wouldn't? What a king. An androgynous king. Newman Own. 7 minutes on the clock, waiting for the boys to cook. And then, that is when we will be placing him in this pan and stacking him. And then we will eat them and not apologize for it, because plants don't have a central nervous system. Stop saying that they have feelings too. I don't think they can feel anything. I'm pretty sure they can't. If you don't have a nervous system, I don't think you can feel anything, so I will be eating plants without feeling any guilt. Now it is easily the best part of this entire thing. We're gonna get to stack them and snack them. Not actually snack them, we're just gonna stack them. That was a Drake and Josh reference. God, no one understands. I generally like to start with the bigger ones and put those at the bottom because that just makes the most sense to me. But obviously, do whatever you are comfortable with and what makes the most sense to you, because I don't know that. I'm not there with you right now. I'm definitely not outside your window. But yeah, that seems like a solid stack. It adds a little more, little sauce, little saucy-wassy onto this whole plate of shenanigans. This is something you really can just feel out. Ultimately, it literally does not matter that much. Like even if you put a little bit too much, when you bake it, it's not as aggressive, the tomato sauce, so you will be fine. No one will get hurt, I swear. What I like to do is use a little bit of mozzarella. Jesus Christ. Is use a little bit of our good friend Daya mozzarella, and I'll put a little bit in on top and throughout, just to add a little bit more gooiness, because you don't really get that with the regular Parmesan that I just made. I generally try to stay away from Daya and that kind of thing, or have been trying to, because I used to have so much of it all the time that it just started making me feel sick when I have it. So now I have to, when I have it now, it has to be in small amounts and complement nicely. In this situation, this is like perfect. Other times, it's just like, ew. I'm sorry, Daya. Like, I love you, but also I hate you. You know what I'm saying? It has this like specific smell that's just like kind of off-putting, and this is just, I feel like I've been eating vegan cheeses for so long that this is just what cheese is like to me now. But at the same time, I feel like vegan cheese can still do better, and I've had better, quite frankly, so I've been trying to achieve that myself. If anybody knows any good homemade vegan cheese recipes, let me know. I've been using one for cashew cheese, and it's pretty good, but I'm getting kind of sick of it. It's a little bit too much like hummus for me, so I want to try to like make something that really is like cheese. Okay, it looks like, just because of the size of the pan, I won't be able to get like another layer in, but that's fine. Time to pour some more shoshy-washy. It just got really dark all of a sudden. It was like bright as hell for a good, I don't know, 2 hour or so, and now it's just all of a sudden really dark. I guess that's kind of how the sunset works, so maybe I'm just being a dumb bitch. Just make sure you get it all covered. And if you're not the type of person that likes a bunch of tomato sauce and stuff anyways, just use less. I don't think you need a whole fuck ton of this to get it to stay together. Okay, I would say this is probably enough. We'll be adding a whole fuck ton of this. So like, don't be shy, like literally add an aggressive amount and spread it evenly throughout the top. Obviously, I used extra Parmesan, so I might have a little bit left over, but obviously not the end of the world. You definitely want like a nice thick layer on top though. If you get a little messy, it's okay. It's all part of the process. Okay, that's probably good enough. I'm really extra, so I just like to really like get like so much of it. But yeah, that should be good. Ooh, that already looks so good. So good, so good, so good. One important thing I definitely forgot to do is put the oven down to 375. So I'm gonna wait for that to do that for me. So this is the final end result. I wish it came out more stacked, but that's kind of the issue I always had with this specific recipe. It probably would be if I refrigerated it again and then recooked it, which eggplant is really good for that. It's something that stays good for, like a couple days, like 4 to 5 days, and it reheats very, very, very well. I would say it's probably even better reheated, arguably. I really wish this didn't look like a pile of poo-poo. It actually, to me it looks amazing, but I don't know. I feel like when things just don't look satisfying, they look not as appetizing, but I swear, this is gonna be so good. There's that guy. Yeah, I just broiled it for 2 minutes or so before it started burning a little bit on the sides. That's really all it takes. I will leave the link of the recipe that I referenced in the description below. Please leave a like or subscribe if you enjoyed this video, and turn on the bell notifications because you can get more videos of me making food. But I'm hungry, so I'm gonna eat this. Bye now.